Hare Krishna. We'd like to welcome all of you all to today's morning program. Here is a very, very special and a beautiful story that will help us understand some aspect of our life in a much better way. One time, three people went to Lord Brahma to seek answers to their questions. The three of them had three different questions, and they all went at the same time to Lord Brahma to ask him answers to their questions. When the three of them appeared to Lord Brahma, the moment Brahma saw them, he looked at them and didn't even hear their question, but he just spoke one word. The word was the. It was not even a complete word, it was one letter, the. And all the three of them, when they heard that they contemplated a little bit and they said, wow, he answered our question. And they went back without even asking their question to Lord Brahma. The first person, he came from the Swargaloka, from the heavens. When he heard the word the, he understood. He understood that Brahma is telling Daman. The word Daman means control or restraint. He decided that the solution to all problems in the heavens is self-control. People in the heaven enjoy a little too much. They have no control. They just freak out and enjoy so much. Constantly, there is a explosion of pleasure in the heavens. And he decided, I am going to be a little more controlled, a little more restrained in my enjoyment, a little more conscious of the way I enjoy. And that's what the word Daman meant to him. So when he heard the word he understood the in his context. And then the second person, he came from the lower planets, the Narakaloka. And when he heard the word he heard the word Daya. Because the Asuras are very cruel and they have absolutely no compassion in their hearts. Go all out to torture people, to trouble people, and derive great pleasure in seeing people suffer. And this person decided, I am going to be more compassionate, show a little less cruelty, a little more daya or compassion. And that will solve all the problems in the hellish planets. The third person was from the Mrityuloka, which is the earth planet, human being. When he heard the word he understood that Brahma is trying to say dana. The word dana means charity or sharing with others. This man decided that people in the earthly realms, they're very miserly, very conjuice. They don't share what they have. And this man decided all the problems on earth can get solved simply if we learn to share a little more. And he decided to start being charitable and generous, sharing his resources with others who hardly have anything. All the three of them heard the same word, the. Brahma didn't even say anything. He only said the, one letter. But they understood that letter in the context of their life, context of their situation, context of their nature. All of us, we hear lectures, but we understand that same lecture differently. If 1,000 people are hearing the same lecture, the 1,000 people are going to have 1,000 different ways of understanding that same lecture. The speaker is speaking in his context, the way he understands life, the way he understands God, the way he understands the scriptures. But when the audience is listening, they listen to it in their context, according to their ability, according to their nature, and according to their situation. And the most amazing thing is that if you hear the same lecture 10 years later, your understanding 10 years before and 10 years later will be totally different because your context has changed. You have improved. You have grown. Your realizations have grown. You have become more purified. And obviously, the lecture goes more deeper. That's the understanding and power of how knowledge influences us over time. And the most amazing thing is that each one heard the same word, but they understood it in a different context. That's the power of perspectives. Every one of us understand life in the perspective in which we see life. The asuras, when they see life, they see in a different perspective. The gods, when they see life, they see in a different perspective. The humans, when they see life, they see it in a different perspective because the contexts are all different. And that's how perspectives are. It's not that one of the three is right or the other one is wrong. It's not that Daman is right and Daya is wrong, or the word Dana is right or wrong. No, all the three are right in their context. Therefore, when we understand the scriptures, we need to understand them contextually, and we need to understand them according to the level at which we are. And therefore, it is very nice if we can discuss what we hear with other people. So every time we hear a lecture, it will be nice if you can just simply sit with somebody else who has also heard and discuss our perspectives. You will be amazed how each one brings on very different contexts of the lecture. Somebody might feel inspired with one particular aspect, somebody else might feel inspired with another aspect, and it might so happen the first person has not even heard what the second person heard because his mind was elsewhere and his priorities were something else. And that is how important discussion is. Krishna in the Gita says, Machitta madhugada prana bodhayanta parasparam katentascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. He recommends bodhayanta parasparam. He recommends devotees coming together, sitting together and discussing about him. Machitta madhugada prana bodhayanta parasparam. He recommends devotees sitting together and discussing about him, because we all have hearts, our Krishna and our heart in a different way. Machitta, Madgada Prana. The way we understand Krishna consciousness is totally different. And therefore, when we hear each other's perspectives on Krishna consciousness, our own understanding broadens, our own realizations broaden. And that's the beauty of association of devotees. Come, let us all meditate on this beautiful story today and try how we can improve the way we understand other people. Let's not simply misunderstand people based on our own conclusions. Let us not judge people based on what we think is right or wrong. Let us understand it from a broader perspective, and let's give benefit of doubt to everyone. And maybe that might help us understand ourselves and God in a much better context and in a much better way. There is a great merit in trying to understand other people's vision and other people's understanding of the same thing. This beautiful story teaches us so many lessons at so many levels, and hopefully it will enlighten us to become more Krishna conscious and more absorbed in our spiritual journeys. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.